Imagine a young emperor seated alone in his tent, writing by the flickering light of a candle while his armies rest, surrounded by the stillness of the night. The weight of an empire rests on his shoulders, yet his thoughts turn inward, seeking a deeper understanding of himself. Though he commands the most powerful empire in history, his writings are not filled with tales of conquest or the glories of war. Instead, he contemplates the battle within, the relentless struggle to master his own mind, emotions, and desires. He pens the words, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Little did Marcus Aurelius know that his private reflections, penned in moments of solitude, would endure for thousands of years, resonating across centuries to inspire millions seeking inner strength and clarity. He understood a truth that holds power even today. Real success, the kind that withstands chaos and endures challenges, comes from within. And Marcus wasn't alone in his understanding of the deep inner work required for greatness. Today we're diving into 9 transformative habits, ancient secrets that have shaped lives across millennia, guiding everyone from emperors to modern-day entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders. Before we get started, let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed how some people seem unbreakable while others falter under the slightest pressure? What makes some rise with every setback while others are overwhelmed? There are those rare individuals who grow stronger despite adversity. What's their secret? The answer lies in a timeless philosophy, one that has shaped kings, warriors, and even those who seem powerless. This philosophy has helped individuals find strength when all seem lost, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. It's called Stoicism, not the cold, emotionless version that many misunderstand, but a practical philosophy that has quietly sculpted some of history's greatest achievers. As we unlock these 6 habits, you'll see that truly successful people, whether they're billionaire entrepreneurs, athletes, or groundbreaking artists, follow these same ancient principles, often without even realizing it. Let's begin. Habit 1. Purposeful persistence. Hard work is not simply about laboring endlessly or burning yourself out. It's about persistent, purposeful effort, the kind that refines both your circumstances and your character. Imagine a young man in ancient China staring at a massive mountain every day near his village. Others saw an immovable obstacle, but he saw potential. He grabbed a pickaxe and began chipping away at it. People mocked him. "You'll never move that mountain. It's impossible." The old man smiled and replied, "The mountain grows smaller every day, while my determination grows stronger. Even if I don't finish, my sons and their sons will." This story became known in Chinese history as the tale of the foolish old man who moved mountains. But most people miss its true message. It's not about the mountain, it's about what happens to you as you chip away at your obstacles day by day. Epictetus, a philosopher who was once enslaved, famously said, "Don't tell me what a man's principles are, show me what he does, and I'll tell you what his principles are." Success isn't about exhausting yourself. It's about showing up every day with purpose. Each small action reshapes who you are, what you believe about yourself, and ultimately what you're capable of achieving. Every choice, no matter how small, adds up to create the person you become. Every time you choose the harder path, the early morning workout, the challenging conversation, the extra rep when you're exhausted, you're not just working, you're transforming your identity, proving to yourself what you're truly capable of. You're building inner strength that makes external success inevitable. The story of the young man in China is a perfect reminder that hard work is about transformation, not just of the world around you, but of yourself. Think of the daily grind not as a burden, but as the sharpening of your own capabilities, like a blacksmith refining a blade, each strike making it stronger, sharper, and more resilient. The mountain may be daunting, but each day that you face it, you grow more skilled, more capable, and more determined. Hard work is not just about labor, it's about crafting the best version of yourself. And when you do that, the impossible becomes possible. Habit 2. Active endurance. Let's talk about patience, a habit that's often misunderstood as passive waiting. True patience is active. It's the willingness to endure challenges, to prepare without immediate reward, and to trust the process even when progress seems invisible. Al-Mutanabbi, one of the greatest poets of the Arabic world, spent years wandering the deserts of Syria. He wasn't just looking for inspiration, he was learning the hardest kind of patience. The desert is unforgiving. It demands patience not as a virtue, but as a necessity for survival. Later, when Al-Mutanabbi wrote some of his most celebrated poetry, he captured a deeper truth. The desert knows me well. The night and the mounted men, the battle and the sword, the paper and the pen. He wasn't just describing his surroundings. He was speaking to a truth that endures through time, that mastery requires embracing the process and understanding that all great things take time. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "No good thing renders its possessor happy unless they are prepared to lose it." Real success, the kind that doesn't crumble under pressure, requires patience, the kind that builds solid foundations. Those who are deemed overnight successes often have years of practice and quiet perseverance behind them. Whether it's an artist honing their craft at dawn or an entrepreneur who fails and pivots for years, the real secret is embracing the learning and preparation that often feels endless. The power of patience lies in understanding that every delay, every setback, and every challenge is not a roadblock, but a stepping stone, an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. When you are patient, you allow yourself to grow in ways that are impossible when you rush. Consider the desert again. It does not change for anyone, and yet those who learn to navigate it find strength they didn't know they had. The same is true of life. The more you learn to work with time instead of against it, the more resilient you become. Imagine planting seeds in a garden. Some seeds take weeks to sprout, others months. The gardener doesn't stand over the seeds demanding they grow faster. Instead, they water, they nurture, and they trust that growth is happening below the surface, unseen but inevitable. They understand that true growth takes time, and impatience cannot rush the natural rhythm of life. That's the essence of patience. It's trusting that your efforts are taking root, even if you don't see immediate results. When you understand this, patience becomes not a burden, but a powerful ally in your journey. Habit 3, strategic sacrifice. True success isn't just about what you do, it's also about what you're willing to give up in pursuit of something greater. It's about shedding the old to make room for the new, about recognizing that sometimes holding on keeps you from soaring. There's a story about a young samurai who went to a Zen master in search of wisdom. The master invited him for tea and poured until the cup overflowed. "The cup is full," the samurai exclaimed. The master smiled and said, "You are like this cup, full of your own ideas. How can you learn unless you first empty your cup?" This story isn't just about learning, it's about sacrifice. To gain something new, you must first create space by letting go of the old. It's about recognizing when the branch you're holding on to is holding you back. Mansa Musa, the wealthiest person in human history, understood this truth. Before he was king, he learned wisdom from those around him, letting go of comfort and safety to learn and grow. "A bird that wants to fly must first let go of the branch," he once said. "The branch represents safety, but if you never let go, you'll never soar." True sacrifice is about giving up the familiar to make space for growth. Not giving up what you love, but loving something bigger and more profound. It's about seeing the bigger picture and letting go of comfort to chase greatness. Think about the sacrifices that have brought people greatness. The greatest athletes give up the comfort of normal routines to train relentlessly. The greatest leaders sacrifice their personal time to serve others. True sacrifice is not about deprivation, it's about exchange. You're exchanging something less valuable for something far greater. It's about being willing to look foolish, to feel uncomfortable, to endure uncertainty because you believe in what lies on the other side. There's a story from African folklore about a hunter who, in his quest to catch a rare bird, had to empty his hands of everything else he carried. He realized that to catch something precious, his hands could not be full of other things. Sacrifice is like that. It's the act of freeing yourself from burdens, expectations, or comfort so that you can reach for something truly extraordinary. It's about making space in your life for greatness. Habit 4. Steadfast growth. Imagine a farmer planting bamboo. For 4 years, nothing seems to happen. The soil appears barren, despite the farmer's consistent care. Then in the 5th year, the bamboo suddenly shoots up, growing 90 feet in just a few weeks. Was the bamboo growing during those years of seemingly nothing? Absolutely. It was building a root system strong enough to support its rapid growth. Consistency is about showing up, even when progress seems invisible. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, compared the pursuit of excellence to a fertile field, something that produces consistent, reliable nourishment. It's not about flashy moments of success, but about steady, unseen work. Every time you repeat a skill, you strengthen neural pathways. It's like paving a road in your mind. The more you travel it, the smoother it becomes. True consistency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence, about getting back up every time you fall, like water flowing down a mountain, finding its way despite obstacles, carving new paths when necessary. Consider the story of the bamboo as a metaphor for your life. For years, your efforts may feel like they aren't yielding results. You may feel like the work you put in day after day isn't paying off. But beneath the surface, your roots are growing deeper. Your foundation is getting stronger. The moment you shoot up and achieve what you've been striving for, people will call it sudden success. But you'll know that it was years in the making. Consistency isn't just about working hard. It's about the long game. It's understanding that mastery is built one brick at a time. The Stoics compared this kind of consistent effort to farming. You reap what you sow, but the harvest comes only after seasons of tending and nurturing. The habit of consistency is the habit of believing in the unseen, of trusting the process when the rewards are not yet visible. Habit 5. Systematic discipline. Odysseus, the hero of Greek mythology, once sailed past the island of the Sirens. Their enchanting song had lured countless sailors to their deaths, but instead of relying solely on his willpower, Odysseus had his men tie him to the mast and plug their ears with wax. He created a system that made failure almost impossible. Discipline, then, isn't just about sheer will. It's about designing an environment that supports your success. Marcus Aurelius would sleep on the floor to make sleeping less tempting. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True discipline is about creating a system that aligns with your goals, setting up an environment where success becomes the natural outcome. It's not about sheer force of will, but about smartly removing obstacles and making the right choices easier. Imagine you're trying to eat healthier. You could rely on willpower to resist junk food in your pantry, or you could design a system that sets you up for success by removing unhealthy snacks and replacing them with nutritious options. Discipline isn't about fighting against yourself. It's about creating conditions that make the right choices easy and natural. The story of Odysseus shows us that discipline isn't about being superhuman. It's about being wise enough to know your own weaknesses and to build systems that compensate for them. When you design your life in such a way that supports your goals, you make success inevitable. You create a structure that guides you towards what you want, even when motivation fades or challenges arise. Think of discipline as a river. The banks of the river are like your systems, guiding your energy, keeping it focused, and ensuring it flows smoothly towards your goals without unnecessary diversions. They guide the water, keep it on course, and prevent it from flooding into chaos. The water, like your energy and focus, flows smoothly when it has direction. True discipline is not about force, it's about flow. Habit 6. Resilient self-belief. Zainab al-Ghazali, an Egyptian activist, endured years of imprisonment for her beliefs. In her darkest moments, she remembered the story of Prophet Yusuf, who said, "Even in prison, my Lord has made it good for me." True self-confidence isn't about blind optimism. It's about knowing deep within that your worth isn't defined by your circumstances, that your value lies in your resilience, adaptability, and the strength of your spirit. Seneca wrote, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." Confidence isn't just about thinking you'll succeed. It's about knowing you'll be okay even if you fail. Self-confidence grows each time you face a challenge and realize it didn't destroy you. It's about repairing the broken parts of yourself, like the Japanese art of kintsugi, repairing pottery with gold. The result is stronger, more beautiful. Each crack is part of your story, and every time you rise, you prove to yourself that you can. True self-confidence is not arrogance. It's humility paired with strength. It's the quiet assurance that no matter what happens, you have the resilience to get back up. Think of every time you've fallen, faced rejection, or encountered failure. You're still here, and every scar is proof of your capacity to overcome. Confidence is built through action, by facing your fears, doing the things that scare you, and emerging on the other side stronger, wiser, and more self-assured. It's the repeated experience of overcoming that forges unshakable confidence. The Stoics understood that confidence is an internal fortress, one that can't be shaken by external events. They practiced voluntary discomfort, like fasting or going without luxuries, to remind themselves that they could handle hardship. They knew that once you faced your fears and survived, you gain an unshakable belief in your own strength. This is the essence of true self-confidence. It's forged in the fire of experience, not handed to you by circumstances. Habit 7. Embracing adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and the ability to adapt is crucial for enduring success. Adaptability is about staying open to change and embracing new opportunities, even if they disrupt your original plans. The Stoics taught that we should focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. Being adaptable means using every situation, whether positive or negative, as a chance to learn and grow. The story of the bamboo applies here too. Its flexibility allows it to withstand storms that might break rigid trees. To thrive, we must be like bamboo, rooted yet flexible, able to bend but not break. Habit 8. Cultivating gratitude. Gratitude is a transformative habit that can alter your entire perspective on life, shifting your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant and beautiful in your world. The Stoics often reflected on what they were grateful for, even amidst hardship. Practicing gratitude allows us to focus on the positives in our lives, no matter how small they may seem, whether it's the warmth of the sun, the kindness of a stranger, or the opportunity to grow from a challenge. This habit shifts our mindset from scarcity to abundance and helps us build resilience. When you acknowledge the good in your life, you create a positive foundation from which to tackle challenges. Marcus Aurelius himself often reminded himself to be grateful for the small moments, the people around him, and the opportunity to grow. Habit 9. Finding joy in the process. The Stoics believed that the journey is just as important as the destination. Finding joy in the process means celebrating each moment of effort, each small victory, and each lesson learned along the way. It's about cherishing the journey, understanding that the process itself is where life's real fulfillment lies. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of a goal, but true fulfillment comes from enjoying the steps that lead you there. Whether it's the early morning practice, the late night study sessions, or the time spent refining your craft, finding joy in these moments helps sustain your motivation and makes the journey worthwhile. Remember, success isn't just about reaching the peak, it's about the climb. These 6 habits, hard work, patience, sacrifice, consistency, discipline, and self-confidence, are not isolated traits but interconnected. Hard work builds confidence. Patience enables consistency. Sacrifice strengthens discipline. They all work together to create a stronger, more resilient you. Think of Marcus Aurelius, writing by candlelight. He wasn't just practicing one of these habits. He was embodying them all. He understood that real success starts within, by facing your own fears, embracing discomfort, and dedicating yourself to the lifelong journey of growth. As you set out to build these habits in your own life, remember that success is not an event. It's an emergence, like the butterfly emerging from the chrysalis. Start small. Make your bed each morning as an act of discipline. Spend 10 minutes in quiet reflection to build patience, or step out of your comfort zone to make that crucial sacrifice. The journey begins with a single step. The Stoics didn't strive to be extraordinary. They sought to live in alignment with nature and truth, and in doing so, they became unforgettable. You can do the same. The path is clear, the wisdom is tested, The only question is, are you ready to begin? Let's end with one final story, one that brings these 6 habits in a modern context. It's about a young boy from a small island in Portugal, a boy named Cristiano Ronaldo. From the moment he realized his dream, he gave everything to it. Late nights, early mornings, sacrifices that others couldn't understand. When others doubted him, he worked harder. And when he reached success, he didn't rest. He kept going. Each of these 6 habits lives in him: the hard work, the discipline, the patience, the sacrifices, the consistency, and the unshakable confidence that he could reach even higher. Greatness isn't reserved for the lucky or the talented. It's for those willing to dedicate themselves to the pursuit. The path has been proven by philosophers, emperors, activists, and athletes. Now it's up to you to take the first step. Success doesn't come to those who passively wait for it. It comes to those who actively build it, one habit, one choice, one day at a time. It's a journey of intentional growth, where every step, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goals. So choose your habit, start your journey, and let ancient wisdom guide you to modern triumph. Cristiano Ronaldo's journey shows us that true greatness is not the result of a single defining moment, but the culmination of countless small choices, sacrifices, and relentless pursuit of excellence. He didn't wait for opportunities to come to him. He created them through his dedication. Whether it was practicing alone after everyone else had left or finding new ways to improve his physical and mental strength, Ronaldo embodies what it means to be truly dedicated. Even at the height of his career, when he had achieved more than most athletes could dream of, Ronaldo kept pushing himself. He didn't settle for being good enough. He aimed for greatness every day. And this is perhaps the greatest lesson we can take from his journey. Greatness is not about reaching a point and stopping. It's about striving for more, even when you have already achieved much. It's about understanding that there is always room to grow, always more to give, and always more to learn. So as you reflect on these 6 habits, remember that they are not just ideas to admire, but actions to embody. Hard work, patience, sacrifice, consistency, discipline, and self-confidence. These are the building blocks of a life well lived. They are the keys to unlocking your potential, to achieving the kind of success that endures, and to becoming the kind of person who inspires others. The path ahead may not be easy, but it is worth every step. And as you take those steps, remember that you are not alone. You are following in the footsteps of some of the greatest minds and hearts that have ever lived. The choice is yours. Will you have the courage to begin? Will you trust in the power of these habits to shape your life? Start today. Start now. Take that first bold step and let the journey of transformation begin. Let it shape you into the person you were always destined to become. The world is waiting for your greatness. Go out there and claim it.